It is. So look, guys, do we go to 3 or not? There's not much gate ball in this spooky music. Love these transitions, by the way. See something?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, just solely because even on Overpass there, Fang had a really quiet series. So I don't think we'll see the same thing on Inferno here. Everyone else seems to be showing up. Bigger Sarah, it's gonna be fun to see her as well. He was entering a lot on Overpass. Obviously, we didn't really know quite what to expect. He's been entering quite a few times as well on other maps, but I think he starting at 12 opening duels that he took on Overpass, so a little bit more than average.
Well, guys, look, I know the pistol round's important, but chat have been saying we're talking about the game a bit too much, so, you know, I can sympathize with that. We've had some questions come in from them, one of which is, you know, who would you have sex with? I'm not using the F word. Right? Have sex with, marry, or kill out of the rest of your fellow talent?
I thought you weren't going to answer that, Richard.
I wasn't, but then I thought it would just be funny because somebody answered with, I would have sex with, marry, and kill Richard Lewis. That was just someone in the chat, which is like some insane... it's an insane Machiavellian scheme and also kind of really hot. Definitely message me. That sounds cool. But yeah, listen, it is difficult. It is difficult. There's a lot of relationships in play here. So it's a very hard question to answer. I think objectively, don't be upset. I think Fifth Lauren is the hottest person here. I think just in terms of objective attractiveness, I think that, you know, obviously. Yeah, and yeah, he would, as would his lovely wife, and you know, does that mean I want to have sex with him? Not necessarily. You don't always cage the butterfly.
Well,
you know?
The question would be, if you married Floweren, would it be you and him like trumping the him and Smix unionship? Or would you be involved in some... Because that's something you would have to hash out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Contractual.
Isn't that why you would then just choose to kill me instead? Get it out of the way.
The thing is, Robin, we've been through so much together down the years, haven't we?
And you are so attractive,
and
Robin.
Then you have to marry one of us. I mean, you don't want to.
Yeah. And you probably have the most money out of all of us here, if I had to guess.
Oh no, so, listen, man. I think out of anyone.
Actually, there is nothing in PayPal. We have to remember. So
it's probably someone else that has all that money. Speaking of money, though, it's a good round from Extra Salt. A lot of money in their bank after that one.
Every time you deploy the speaking of trick, it just warms my heart. Robin didn't know that, and then he learned it, and now look at
so
him.
much media training over the years.
Yeah.
So tell me, Robin, always lead with what the other guy ended with, even if it's toes, feet, aliens, you name it. There's always a play of words there somewhere.
There's always a way to bring it back to Counter-Strike, which we're not going to do.
There's always a way to bring it out of Counter-Strike as well.
Yes. Mostly we're going to do that. I did enjoy some of the comments as well, going, imagine being a player making a sick play, and you go and watch the clip back, and it's these morons talking about aliens, and it's like, listen, I'm going to tell you, the players would love that. They love that. Do you know how many games these guys play? Yeah, they do. Do you know how many games these guys play? Like down in MDL and all that, right? Like, they want something a little bit different. Plus, also, they want to be in a major. They're not thinking about, oh, I hope Fifth Lauren says, oh, we did the 3-piece and a biscuit.
Okay, I'm so glad you reminded me of that line. That's coming out in a
Yeah, we have to bust that out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this much. As a player, you know, when you get your first highlight, if you're new to the scene, yeah, obviously you want, you know, a clip to, you know, show to your friends of like, look, I played a pro game, look at these commentators are saying my name, right? But there's only so many of those that you would watch and be like, man, I'm going to show all this to my parents. That's not how it works, especially not in a 5th to 6th place decider. I'll tell you that much. They would maybe show a clip of, you know, a major, for example, or, you know, a final that they played in, or something like that. Sure, maybe this is not, you know, one of these games that you were to send to your relatives saying like, oh, look at me, I'm a professional player. Maybe you're better off picking another game. But they play a lot of games. So it's not like this is the only way they get to show.
all the people listening at home, Zoomers, most of you. Remember, Robin is the only one here that has won a major in CSGO.
No.
He hasn't got esports lifetime achievement award socks. Do want to make that abundant.
Maybe like 10 more years and then he earns his way up.
I have been retired for 7 years and still won more than these two teams that you see on the server.
Oh, spicy and delicious.
Which, you know, in return could make me irrelevant, which probably the chat will say. But listen,
they
I don't
say
care.
you're irrelevant. Yeah, they do say that.
But at the end of the day,
what does that mean?
Look at this. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Fiflara Major 1, Simple Major 0.
Yes.
Equals.
Yes.
Now that's
Tell them. Clip that, chat. Get that on Reddit. I want that on the front page of Reddit right now, because he's right. My boy is right. Where's your major, Simple? You ain't no Fiflara. Deal with that.
Now, am I claiming to be as good as Simple? You know, one could have that discussion.
Listen,
but
roles.
it's a team game.
There's
evidence is there.
Game, exactly.
And evidence is there.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Feel we've all come a long way.
Facts.
I might not even turn up for the final. This is the final. And we've accomplished so much.
I think one of the biggest issues with us just sitting here trying to like have other topics and have a bit of a laugh is like you can't really beat the comedy thing anymore, because the biggest joke of an RMR, of course, is the CIS one.
Oh, he's done that. Hugo, you're so right. When Harry gets lit, it's worse than me. You were right. You were right, mate. Listen,
we go from the Musk family to the CIS RMR. Oh,
yeah, no, exactly. The Musk family have invested in the CIS RMR. It's the nightmare. It's the duality. Listen, I don't think... is it appropriate for an RMR to talk about another RMR?
I just don't touch it personally.
Yeah, I'm not going to either.
I think we did our fair share of replay the match jokes. I think that's...
Yeah,
you know,
hey man, it was
calling it shit. I mean, that's...
I didn't call it shit. I said it was a comedy act.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine then.
I don't think anyone's laughing over there, mate. I think it's mainly tears and moulding, as the kids say. Never really understood that. I do want people to know that anger does not correlate to baldness. It's just the coincidence. I'm both permanently angry and balding. Moulding isn't real. Yes.
I see, Richard. I actually love being hairless. It's one of my favorite
when you
things.
shave your head, do you mean? Or
yeah.
Right. Oh, I thought you were just talking developmentally or whatever, you know.
No. Yeah. No, just like, I know, it's so convenient. I keep trying to convince Hugo to shave all his hair off, because I'm also convinced it would look hilarious. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Hugo's got too long a face. If he shaved his head, he'd look like the fucking Scream mask.
Yeah, my skull is shaped.
He's gonna look like the Scream boss.
He would, mate. Picture it in your mind. Picture the smooth white dome. Picture Hugo's pale, screaming face. It all fits. So yeah, don't do that. I like what you're doing with your beard, Harry. I think it's good, mate.
Mate, I don't.
You've got a good look going on right now.
It's just like well, I like having a beard. I've just basically eternally had a beard since I could grow one. I've had one, you know,
Same.
like because I look like the fat controller without it, man. It just doesn't work, right? Like this smooth little moon face going on. But right now, I don't know, man. Lockdown, it's just so easy to just not take care of yourself, isn't it? That's a bit real.
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking
honestly,
about right now.
I just, you know, I wish I had any kind of skill other than, other than just being able to talk.
Mate, have an intervention.
Yeah.
I just tune out most of it, honestly.
Hugo doesn't help. Hugo constantly reminds me of just how, you know, little I have to offer.
What? That is the opposite
I know,
of our relationship.
No, that actually is, and it is a relationship.
Yeah,
we do have a very good relationship, me and Hugo.
What I like about, what I've noticed about the casters, more from this kind of generation of active casters, this is a serious conversation for a second, is they do seem to have like genuine, long-lasting kind of friendships that you feel you know, yeah, you know, like maybe if this didn't, you know, if they probably wouldn't cast unless they were casting with their bro. You know what I mean?
That is. I'm so glad you said that because I could riff on this for sure. Me and Harry definitely had that conversation. I don't think I would. Well, I don't think we would have done as well. Or I don't think I would have done as well without Harry. And you know, I don't think I would be enjoying it anywhere near as much without Harry. You know, he's a great guy to be around. Like in and out of the server, you know.
You know, you definitely have like times where you're on the road a lot, and it's the same for players and stuff as well, right? You know, I'm sure you can relate to this, Robin. Where like, you know, you're just away from everything, like everything familiar, and it's great at times. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel so privileged to get to do this. You know, like, talk about CS. You know, sometimes not even talk about CS while CS is just on in the background.
Sometimes.
It is like the most just unreal thing ever. It makes me so happy. But you know, you do have those times where you're just missing home. You know, you've been on the road for like 5 months. You haven't seen anyone. The whole world is falling apart. You're getting like bad news left, right, and center. And like, I don't know how people have done it in the past where they haven't had like, you know, some like really. If I didn't have someone like Hugo while I'm out there, you know, like someone who actually is a friend and like, you know, you're able to talk to and kind of, you know, cheer each other up type of vibe, I would be very, very mentally unwell. You know, like that's what I would be at.
No, listen,
like, bro, I've had events. I remember we were doing Blast in Moscow, and like we were just about to go and do the semi-finals or something like that. And I got a phone call like 10 minutes before that my dog had died, and I was devastated, man.
Shit, dude,
and then like, you know, but it's like obviously the show's got to go on, right? Like I can't just go out there, pick up the headset. Sorry guys, we're actually going to reschedule this 4's VP game because
I've got shit on my plate right now, so
you can't do that. But it's like, it was great because I just knew that like after, you know, getting to kind of talk stuff through with Hugo, we just pumped each other up a bit. You know, you kind of push stuff like that to a side, you do your job, and then you grieve after. But it's like, it's good because you're with people where like, you know where you stand, you're all friends, you get along. I think stuff like that is really important, man. And I think that's why like in teams where like buddies and like friendships and bromances develop, it's so important to keep them in like good standing, right? I think, you know, even looking at a team like EG, man, I think Ethan and Breezy were almost like an example of two players that got on. I don't really know what they were like in the server together, but since Ethan's left, Breezy's dropped off a cliff in terms of his performance.
Well, Robin can definitely tell you about this, right? I mean, you were like obviously part of that core, and you were the first one to part ways, right?
I mean, listen, I hate that when people say so. Like one of the ones that the first one to start with that is actually Lurpus when he said like, "Oh, doesn't matter. You don't need to be friends to like win titles. Like it's all about the skill." That's a claim he always had, right? And you know, I call bullshit on that. Like I think that's a very like a sports kind of mentality where you have 25, you know, players in a sport, in a regular sport. Yeah, you replace one guy. Yeah, maybe it's just one of the bunch. But in gaming, it's 5 guys, and like it's all about communication, right? It's all about being able to talk to each other, talk about the problems. Yes, being friends and having a friendship and being able to talk to your teammates is a massive part into winning. So like, I never bought that. What you know, Tommy was saying. Honestly, I thought it was full of shit since day one. It's apparent that if you are friends and you do have like a good atmosphere in the server, or you know, as a team, you tend to perform better. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's, you know, a given fact. There's not many teams, you know, one of the examples he gave was the old VP roster, right? Oh, they always used to argue. Yeah, but they were still friends. It was like a family, you know, like families fight, right? They bicker, you know, but there's still like a good intent at the back of it.
I think like longevity is another part of it, right? Like, sure, you could not be friends with your teammates. You could all be good players. You can go in, you can win an event. But if you want to have an era, right, if you want to have like longevity and be able to solve problems, you know, nothing like going and winning an event and then going and getting grouped the next event where you've got to talk about that, right? You've got to actually figure it out. So, yeah, like if we're looking for longevity, for sure, you want to like the people you're working with.
Yeah, I mean, think about it as well, though. It's like, you know, you obviously got, you know, Chad and Alex are like good friends, you know, live together and everything. It's like, I think as well, like people don't really realize when you do.
Not a couple though, Richard. Let's just clarify that.
Yes, no. Although if you want to ship them in your fan fiction, you can do that. It's just fiction. It's okay. Send the best fan fictions to @hot _bid on Twitter. I'm sure he'd love to read them. But yeah, listen, you know, it's like I think you get an extra component, and I think it's also abundantly clear in what we do. And for me, this is the criminal. This is like the cardinal sin, but it happens way too often in esports. If two people don't really vibe with each other and they don't really get along and they don't really know each other and they don't like the way that the other one does the other one, but they're casting together, you know what I mean? You hear the little passive, it's there, mate.
Yeah,
well, if you're in the business, definitely you can see the elbowing for to get the most room and the most airtime and the best
highlights.
Yeah, and it was like
highlight.
So like how me and Duncan always work, because I know like obviously Thorin's like another like very complicated character and he's a guy I've worked with for a long time. People probably don't know this. Me and him used to fucking hate each other. If you can get your head around that, we had some unbelievable vitriolic arguments. But then like when we sort of recognized that we all do want the same things, and like it was easy to fight each other because we were essentially the same type of person, so we stood out. And so it was like, you know, it's like you look into a crowd and you go, that he's having it, right? Yeah. And he's looking out and going, he's having it. And then when we started having it, I was like, wait, why are we look at all these other dickheads? Like, let's go get some of them. And he went, yeah, actually, good point. So that's how we kind of moved. But, you know, what he realizes and what I realize is sometimes the alley-oop is the best part of the job. It's not you slamming it to the, you know, it's giving it to someone else to do it, even if it's at your expense. And, you know, I think that was why back in like 2014 and 2015, we used to work on stuff, you know, off camera. And I'd be like, listen, I'm going to say this and, you know, you can make me look like a dickhead and it's going to work. And then later on in the show, I'll say this and make you look like a dickhead. And yeah, it was like people thought it was like this spontaneous thing, but it was actually, it did become spontaneous. It was just about trust. That you trusted the other person to not go too far. And I've worked with people who they don't want to do that. They don't even want the alley-oop. They just want to dunk on you constantly, every opportunity they get.
Can't take it.
You never have a moment with these guys. It's like, and they're not doing it for the show. They're doing it so they can go back to their little inner circle and go, hey, you see how I owned that guy on a broadcast? Like, mate, it's about the fans. And if you don't respect that, I don't know. I can't get on board with that. You know?
For sure.
Serious for a moment. That
got deep.
Let me turn it into comedy, right? So when I was working in the FGC, there was a commentary duo. And they always thought about this because they were mates. And they were such good mates. They named themselves after condiments. Like, it was like ketchup and mustard, right? Because if you think about it, you have a hot dog, you have ketchup and mustard. But I always thought, what happens if you ever go solo now?
Yeah, right. Bit risky.
Yeah. And everyone, it's ketchup. Where's the mustard? Oh, he's with a guy now. We're making him call himself onions. Like, it doesn't. You fucked the whole thing. So I thought that was unbelievably bold. And I would also just advise, like, even if you're doing it with your mate, and it is clever how you've called yourself Harry and Hugo, but that's not as synonymous as ketchup and mustard, is it?
That's why me and Harry will be rebranding to socks and shoes as well for future events. You know, everyone's favorite duo.
Man, do you guys actually have in-game names, or is that your in-game names, just Harry and Hugo? Like, do you actually have nicknames?
No, I never, you know, the only other nickname I had was really, really cringe, and I didn't like it. And, you know, I used to just tell everyone to call me Harry anyway.
Dude, I did a Magisk growing up. My
Harry
first nickname was Cyber Boy, and I started growing up, and I was just like, man, I'm not a boy anymore. I'm gonna be Cyber Dude.
I'm just gonna mute myself.
Dude, okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
the
original E-boy.
I know, and listen, and then I was thinking, man, that's gonna look so sick on a car, Cyber Dude as a nameplate. But then I got even older, and I was like, man, I started watching this movie called Brain Dead. I'm like, that's sick. I'm gonna name myself that. So I was brain dead for 6 months.
You're brain dead.
Yeah, with a capital R. Just you know, it's a pretty sick nickname. Yeah.
It was nice of you to keep that namesake going into the end of the NIP era as well.
Yeah. So you see Magisk, right? Magisk Boy, but he grew up. But instead of Magisk Dude, he just removed the boy, right? So he's just Magisk now.
Instead of following in your footsteps.
Yeah, he said, okay, dude is
like you should have done. Like simple should have done. Am I right?
Simple Dude would have been his name. Oh, PKL's rapid Sonic. And this might be a save round.
Oh, talking about the game.
Yeah, a bit of commentary. Bit of commentary.
Careful, mate.
Oh, little boost. Hang on. Look. OC. This is probably just a save. I've said that twice now.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got one.
tempting.
He has got one, mate.
They got to go though.
Yeah, you have to step it up if you're gonna go. They are they? Are they? Oh, this is it. It's
doable though.
They
3-on-3 with
mind.
nades, absolutely. I think we try and go for this. Not anymore though.
Now, yeah.
Spending too long lining up. And now they get knocked down.
And listen, I'll say this much. Fang has not come alive yet so far this half. Quiet
No,
overpass.
Yeah.
He's been quiet here as well. paiN really has his number. Seems to be struggling versus resilience.
I mean, we've seen a lot of already these T-side rounds just coming down to, 1 or 2 well-placed early kills, and then it all just falls apart. It's the Inferno we know and love. Your mileage may vary.
Mileage may vary. But yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I miss about being in the talent pool. There were a lot of guys there, like that. Like, me and Anders are pretty tight, like, no joke. And me and Moses, too. Obviously, me and Henry. It was like, there was a period of time where it was kind of, it was just a bunch of, really, really good friends kind of making it all work. So it's good to see that. It's good to see that, kind of continued.
Just want to clarify here as well, Richard. They're not fans. Let's remember that. They're clients.
Yeah, true.
The clients.
Yeah, they are clients.
Very true.
He's got you there.
No, for sure.
Dude,
there's loads of. I mean, the casters that we came up with.
I was
are we
about
going the
to
same
say,
direction?
Yeah. I was
okay.
going to say exactly
That's fine.
the
Go
same.
ahead.
No.
No, it's fine.
Hugo, take it.
No, you talk.
Why don't you say it at the same time and see if you use the same words to describe the same
we
phenomenon?
do that a lot. We do that a lot. See, it's funny when you cast so much with someone. Like I've casted thousands of maps of Counter-Strike with Harry. I would imagine. I would put money on that. But like, I sometimes you just fall into like the monotony of casting, and I know exactly where Harry's going with every sentence. Obviously, all on the fly. I don't know what's happening in the game, but we fall into ebbs and flows.
Of course, right.
There's definitely been moments where Harry and I have said the same thing, unplanned, of course.
Put it this way:
rehearsed.
there's a number of things. Just before we pick up on the point you were going to make, there's a number of things that do irritate me. And I think, like, I don't think communities know they're doing it. They did it with James and DDK as well, They gave them, like, really disparaging nicknames, and I didn't like that. And I always hate that, when you guys are working, everyone's like, yeah, it's Machine, yeah, it's Henry. And it's like...
the budget one, the classic.
Yeah, budget, They did it with Vince as well, budget Anders. It's like, like, Vince has been doing this for 15 years.
Mate, and also,
he's absolutely
Vince is
sick.
Incredible.
Yeah, he's absolutely sick at his job. And
also,
it's like,
doesn't sound
you're
anything
making
like
it. Yeah, it doesn't sound anything like Anders. Barely looks anything like Anders. Big guy.
Looks more like Spongy's dad than
Anders. Does look more like. We've established that, right? But it's like, I know you're doing a meme at home, but it's like commentators and broadcast talent battle so hard to get that identity to stand out from the crowd. Anything that kind of like diminishes that a little bit, like, it is going to weigh you down after a while.
Yeah, funnily enough, it was like the opposite when you start, right? Because when I was coming up and I got that, I got that from like day one. And that's a compliment, right? When you're not, you don't even really know what you're doing in this industry. You're just trying to break in, and you're getting compared to one of the greats. Like, definitely complimentary at the start. I've never really gotten pissed off about it, because I do get that. It's funny. It's first time I went to America. I buy Power Masters 2017, something like that. I was in LA.
I thought you were the disastrous one. Okay, fine.
No, not the one, a couple of years ago. No, this was ages ago. This is when we swapped out Launders and E-mode on the desk when the camera cut away. Regardless. If you remember that one, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
There was he was budget Launders. Like, there we go. There's another example.
Yeah, right.
But both,
exactly, mate.
When I met Smix there, she we were in a car, and like within the first thing she said to me was, "Oh my god, I thought Henry was in this car."
Yeah,
and then I met Steele, Josh Nissen. He said the exact same thing with about 30 seconds as well. So
you do have real similar, but I've known
yeah, the
Henry
voices
especially
are
non-Brits. It's non-Brits.
Yeah,
non-Brits. But I mean,
It's
I think
more
my
so
voice is different to how it was 3 years ago anyway.
It's more so like the way you guys speak. It's not like maybe the like wording is a little different, but it's the same. It sounds like you guys are talking more from like bottom of the throat, kind of like very like deep. I think Henry has when Henry started casting. If you go back and watch like his first few stuff, like you guys do sound very similar in that sense. But
yeah. No, I get vibes that Hugo and Henry are both adept in the deep throat. I'm inclined to agree with you.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, as I was talking about, I'm like, oh shit, okay, I messed up here.
Those are those alley-oops and slam dunks that we talked about.
I will
Harry
not stand for it, Harry.
Broke the backboard. Loves it.
I will not stand for it.
When we were in Germany, we were living in this house together. Me, Hugo, Trace, Alex, Chad, and Henry. When we moved in after getting kicked out of our 7th hotel in 7 days.
That was because of COVID, not because you were partying.
Yeah.
Making that clear for the stream. Like you're not throwing TVs into swimming pools.
No.
Yeah.
Although that probably didn't help.
And you know, like we go to this Airbnb, and it's like this weird. I can't even describe what it was. It was like a 3-story house. It was really big, but also like small at the same time. Very vertical, but not a lot like of ground space. The way that they gave us all rooms was Henry made like these little like game show-esque, you know, like almost like blind dating like videos of each of the rooms, and he would give it like a number, and it'd be like, oh, have you found love in room number 3? And you know, like he would like give you this like lowdown about like what was going on, you know, like single bed, how many windows, what the view was like, and then he like kind of rated them. And then we all had to pull the rooms out of like a hat, you know, you had like numbers. And it was like a great game show way of getting the rooms. And of course, Henry, he sits there and he's like, really, there's only one room that he like lays into, and he's like, yeah, this room's shit. You know, I really wouldn't want this room. Of course, the guy who makes all the effort to set this up. You know, the only room he talked bad about was the room that Henry ended up getting and then subsequently living in for the next like 4 months.
He pimped it out, though. He pimped it out.
He actually, he ended up with my room, which was meant to be one of the best, ended up full of ants.
Yes.
There was an ant's nest under the floorboards.
Harry lived in the ant's nest for a few
months.
I'm
not kidding, Richard. You would go down there at night.
It
would be like the room would have a fog of just ants everywhere. And look at this, like ants under a magnifying glass. Wouldn't you know it, paiN Gaming have been singed alive on this B-side push.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, we're going to have to continue this in the break, aren't we? Because it's about to become a break.
You know what to do with them, Richard.
I do know, but I don't want to do it this time. Because no one does.
Neckers could be on for the ace clutch, but sniped away.
You're doing the break.
Of course, we're going to go away now for a time period of around about 3 moments. 1 moment equals 1 minute. So stick around and join us when we're back.
A sensational game, a game about sensations. Will the salty taste win, or will it be the extreme pain? None of us know. We're going to watch and find out.
Great to be here with you boys.
Yeah, you know what, mate? I know they're probably hating it in the Twitch chat, but I don't care. It's been good to talk.
I hope someone's enjoying it, because I am.
I know there are people enjoying it, you know, for sure. But it's nice to just talk and hang out. We've worked so much over these 2 weeks. And man, what a blast it's been as well, really.
No, it really has, man. I've absolutely loved Counter-Strike lately. Like,
Traded.
This is a very explosive pistol round. And I'll give it, I'll give Marky the respect he deserves. Here he is, out in the top mid.
And that's why you haven't been talking about the game.
This is why why do I even bother? So it's I've loved CS at the minute, man. Like when we first hit the pandemic time period and everything was online, it was kind of heartbreaking. It was massively heartbreaking. But if it has done anything cool, combined with like players leaving for Valorant and whatnot, and orgs being harder to come by. We spoke a lot about like the passion. Man, you even have that over in like Europe of like orgless teams, like Double Pony, for example, right? Like just a mix of guys doing quite well. It's very, very cool. Like we haven't had vibes like that for a while now.
Yeah,
I've loved all of this, like just people competing for the guy standing next to them kind of vibe.
For me, like, don't get me wrong, I've loved all of the CS we've had at these events, and I talked about it yesterday, like why this is a really cool event for me to kind of witness, because the snootiness and the pretentiousness of being an EU and having that solidified region, with CIS feeding into it, we're still in a good place. NA, it's kind of, well, what's going on? Nobody knows. We're all afraid, right? We're all a little bit scared. But to be here and see emerging teams, not just emerging teams, emerging organizations picking up players, Extra Salt, Extremum, etc. It's been cool. It feels like old school CS transported into the modern era, and it's nice. It's been really cool to watch and soak that in, and also it's just been nice to work an event. I was denying myself this, And
I can't wait to go back on that.
It has been Rich. I hope that I know you're wanting to step away from event work soon. My God, I hope you try and go out on a bang with just like doing, get back to a little bit of grinding, some CS event work.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And then hang it all up for
know what it's like with us boomers, man? Like, we never fucking leave, do we? Like, that's the problem. And it's like, it sucks, because to see all these, like, super cool, like, young, amazing talent. We got so many good hosts in the scene, right? And then I look at that generational coming through, people that haven't had an opportunity, and we get a tantalizing glimpse of what they can do. People like Potter, we got Frankie, like, and the thing I always worry about, like when people say, hey, do you want to, work this event, is, like, ugh. Imagine being the guy that, like, sticks around until everyone's, like, sick of it, I'm like, nah. So I don't want that to be me. But, we've got, like, I hope the community are going to start embracing, because, like, I hear a lot about the golden generation of CS talent, right? And, like, I was going to write an article about this, funnily enough. Like, yeah, we had an amazing bunch, no joke. I mean, I would say some of the best to ever do it. Like what Anders and Semler did for FPS commentary, how they revolutionized the game, and then just the sort of, you get hit with, here's a Moses, here's a Yanko, here's a James Bardolph and a DDK to put a twist on the thing that Anders and Semler were doing. Oh, here's Henry and Sadakis to elevate it, and you go, wow, like, how do you get all of those guys, especially after we had a pre-golden generation, I guess silver generation, where you had guys like Red Eye, guys like, Tosspot, guys like DJ Wheat. We've been embarrassed down the years. And I think because of that, one of the things that really upsets me is, you always read these comments, don't you? I shouldn't. Social media isn't good for the brain. But, you read the comments and you go, why can't you appreciate what we got now? We got some sick people popping off right now.
I made this comment when, I don't remember what event it was last year, and I said, like, it's almost astounding how people can't see the irony in typing, like,
right,
man,
I know
our talent used to be so good. Why didn't we appreciate what we had when we had it? Now we have these fucking idiots. And it's like, how can't you see the action?
You're doing the same thing! My brain! Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad, mate. It is mad. It is mad. Why were people more supportive? And instead, we've got these assholes now who don't deserve our support. Oh, God! You're hurting me inside. Yeah, it's rough.
No, and listen, and to your point there as well, Richard, and we've had some really bad ones too. So, like, exactly like you're saying, I mean, when we fucking have the good ones, like, take care of him, you know?
Oh yeah, we definitely have. You know, and I'll also add, I don't remember an example of a really bad one ever becoming a really good one. But you know, some people get better over time. Not all of them. Availer. No one even knows who he is. It's fine. Safe flaming. A new episode, new show with Richard Lewis. Safe flames. But yeah, I mean, seriously, like we got so many like fucking good people operating right now. I mean, when I was doing that story you guys were talking about earlier with the grid and everything, I was meeting commentators. And I was like, oh, finally putting like faces to the names, you know. And you go away and you watch their work and you think, wow, if these guys could get a run 2 years from now, who the fuck knows, you know? And people don't want to give people that. I think we've just been spoiled. And I think we're actually getting spoiled again. And people don't realize that yet. But they will. And obviously you guys are at the forefront of that, no doubt. Harry, Hugo, next big thing, for sure.
Damn.
I want to say as well,
not just you two guys, Scrawny Launders. I
was about to say, right?
Yeah,
Connor and Launders.
And that, you know, this
actually links back in to the. Wow, we've come full circle.
No, I mean, one of the things that has been really nice is like, yeah, sure, we're all most commentators freelance, right? Most talent freelance, and we're all competition at the same time. But it has been really nice with other people who came up at the same sort of time as us, i.e. Connor and Launders, right? You know, really good friends with Scrawny and Launders, like really, really great guys, great talents. And even Dinko and Hawker, I think, is another great example.
Dinko
like,
and Hawker,
you know,
banging, yeah.
Really nice guys, really great talents, like really committed to the game, know their stuff. Bright future, and also it's just great having, you know, people who have gone through like the same experience as you to a degree, right? All in different ways. And yeah, I don't know if you were going to expand on that, Harry, but I just wanted to shout those guys out.
No, man, 100%.
Awesome.
No, like it's so wild whenever I think about this, right? Like, you know, me and Hugo have been casting CS now for like, I think Hugo's been doing it for like 6 years, and I've been doing it for like 5 years, maybe even longer than that. Fuck, I don't know. But you know, it like for me, it all started back in university. The first guy who hired me for anything was Hugo. Hey. Little did I know that we would go on to be like, you know, good friends and you know, work together.
You know, he's one of my best employees. For sure.
And then out of so Scrawny, we all know Scrawny. Yeah. He got started because he casted a knife round that he posted on Reddit. It blew up on Reddit. Face it, we're like, you know, we're gonna run like this FPL thing. So they contacted like 2 casters that were up and coming. Those casters were the guy from the knife round cast, Scrawny, and me, and they got us to do some stuff together. And you know, like from all the way back then, like doing our first, you know, me and Connor doing our first stuff together, really. You know, Hugo had done a little bit more, was like, you know, the veteran one out of the 3 of us. But even then, calling him a veteran when, you know, he's done like 6 online events. 14
years old, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. And, you know, it's just wild how, like, you know, we kind of all started back at this together. You know, what are the odds that someone that you met all those years ago was also going to be incredible and like go on
Can I tell you something really shameful about that? Yeah. And I don't mind, it's already like public because me and Scrawny, you probably know.
I knew exactly where it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, go on. Say your thing.
No.
I want you to set up the table.
I'm such a jaded arsehole, right? And like that is an apt description. I wouldn't even mind if someone said that. You'll notice when I argue with people, never contradict any of those words. I'm never like, oh, yep, Jade, yep, you got me. Arsehole, yep, you got me. But when I saw Connor come through and do that, the bit of commentary over his own knife round, immediately I went, oh, wow, guy's got a great voice. He understands, like, syncopation. He understands some, like, pretty advanced level concepts that a lot of people don't. And, yeah, he could definitely do it. And then he did another clip, didn't he? And he put it on Reddit.
Another clip.
And then another clip, right? Now, me, being Mr. I'm like, oh, he's just an attention-seeking... He's an attention-seeking twat. And I'm like, that is so outrageous that my brain immediately goes to that, like, frankly. Because, yeah, obviously he is. If he doesn't get attention, he can't, you know, he can't make a living, right? So, but because it's very easy to take your own shit for granted when it's your shit. So basically, I think I even tweeted about. Oh God, it's awful to say. Like, I even tweeted about it. Like, yeah, nice one, tension seeking. I'm like, oh my God, it's like so bad looking back on it. Like, because that must have probably also been like, that's the last thing you want, isn't it? Someone that's like doing the thing you want to do, and they turn around and go, "Yeah, look at this arsehole trying to do what I'm doing." Like, lol. Yeah, it was really
didn't
bad.
Deter him though, Richard. Hey, didn't deter him. Look on that
deter
side.
him, and and I'm so glad it didn't. And
no,
I swear on my eternal soul, I'll never do that again. That was so out of pocket and so terrible of me to do that to someone trying to make it in this business, and probably must have caught me on a bad day or something. I don't know. Like, there's not even a reason for it, mate. That's the worst part about it.
Right,
like,
that is
just
the worst
let
thing
people
about
have,
those things, right?
just let people chase their dreams. You sad old man, you know. It's like, it was really weird. It was really weird, mate.
I totally get it from his perspective as well. Like, you know, you want to seize the moment. Like, actually breaking into this industry and working your way up isn't as easy as just cast all the events, man. Like, you gotta get your name out there somehow, I guess. But
yeah,
easy for us to forget, Richard.
Yeah, it is. No, you're right.
The...
Yeah, we take things for granted, mate. You know, because we've been around a while.
I've always said the same. Even, you know, going back and thinking back of like, oh, how did you go pro, right? Like, you have to have luck in some degree as well. And imagine how many people that are sitting there, you know, even watching Riot giving us a bunch of shit for not casting the game, into like playing and whatnot. I mean, yeah, you have to be lucky in some degree, and you have to obviously showcase your skills, right? Nowadays it's easier, right? Like back in the day, we didn't have any of that, like the FBLs and for casters, right? Being able to, you know, even take an old demo to cast over, right? To just like highlight and showcase. But to Harry's and Hugo's point, right? Even to Harry, he's like, oh, I've been casting for, you know, 5 years. It's only, I feel like the last 2 years you have seen Harry and Hugo at these main events, right? To getting more and more airtime. Same with Scrawny and Launders, right? It takes time. And it takes a lot of perfection, right? So yeah, absolutely. I'm also a big fan of people showcasing their work. I think it's fantastic, right? Like you have to if you want to try and make it.
Not to mention that, like, you know, for the vast, you know, like even though we've been earning money from this for a good while, like the still, like, you know, the first like years of doing it are basically for free, you know, like you.
That's what people don't think about. It's the same thing with teams, right? They're like, oh, we can't get I know us spawns, we can't get an org. We're just gonna give up. Listen, dude, like back in my day, I used my own fucking money to go to events, you know, like trying to make a name for myself, right? Like I had to earn getting picked up by an org. Just by having some good results online doesn't give you shit, you know? Like, yeah, spend your own money, prove your worth, right? It's people like that people respect as well, that's willing to take a gamble, to Harris and Hugo's point as well, probably did events for free, right? Just to get their names out there. It's just the name of the game.
Yeah, worked out, paid off.
Yeah, that's always a hard one. That's always a hard one. You know, it's like there's such a fine line to walk because, again, on the feedback issue, some feedback is valuable, some feedback isn't. Some people telling you, yeah, this isn't for you. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. And the other thing, of course, is like sometimes doing free work is good. But other times,
no, yeah, I think actually, so that's a big distinction that I think that people don't like. Esports, you know, I'm not part of the golden age of esports, although I haven't been around for 20 years. I mean, I'm only 23, but like, you know, back when we started, even 5-6 years ago, it's a very different place to where it is now. I think that's, you know, a lot of the talk of like working for free, especially in like talent work, and you know, back then, I mean, I remember like, you know, you would be casting ESCA main games on your own channel, and maybe you'd be getting €1 a map or something if you know the
CPMs are hitting right, you know, like
you're if like the org wanted you to cast it on their channel, something like that, you know, that's like getting experience. I think that's different to nowadays where you have like tier 1 orgs or like big TOs trying to get free labor. That's a very different thing.
The way that I look at it like nowadays is that like I think the first stuff you're doing should be for free in that, you know, it's like a passion at that point, but like once you've built up like a portfolio and you're trying to actually, you know, do something on like a proper stream, I don't really think there's much of it. You know, even if someone isn't experienced, I think they should be paid something. You know, like the idea that you can just kind of scam free labor out of someone because it's like,
there is the money there now that wasn't there.
Exactly, right? Like, you know, and esports, I don't know if you know, it's not mega profitable, but you know, there's still more money in it than there was, and so I think, you know, even like minimum wage, man, like the fact that these grid guys were out there, and some of them are experienced and have been with grid for a long while and getting paid as little as they were, was a joke, quite frankly.
Did you see that in the chat as well? Because Scrawny's joining us, funnily enough.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
we could actually ring Connor right now and have him on air.
Yes,
no pressure, Connor.
Have him cast
we
a
need
few
to
rounds.
check with Ken Hot _ Chen. He is the boss. He rules everything. But yeah, he said apparently I even deliberately didn't use his name and called him Squirmy.
Squirmy?
Oh my God,
that's
Richard.
golden.
I am
That is
so listen.
Squirmy.
I am such a prick. There
I
really
am
is.
taking
Yeah,
that,
I know.
Richard.
my
That is
God.
mine forever.
Yeah, I know, but it's still really bad. What an arsehole. That is like, oh, no. Yeah. Listen, even I'm capable of shame. I don't think people think that, but, you know, the way I treated just a nice, innocent dude trying to make his way in this business. And I hate that shit. I don't like gatekeeping. You need a little bit. You can't let anyone in. You know, you can't let people come in and with bad intentions, right? Like, you know, that want to destroy the business and serve themselves. You know, that's how you end up with football. You know, like just wealthy, corrupt arseholes just doing whatever they want. But equally, there was like I can't even explain that to myself. Like that is so weird. But whatever.
No, and
Shame,
okay.
apologized, fixed.
I was gonna say something else. People are like, oh, what if money's a problem? Listen, man, like at the end of the day, like think of, you know, people want to become actors, right? They move to, you know, Hollywood and they get a waiter job, right? Just to pay the bills before they make it. I mean, it's the same thing, right? To Harry's point, it's a passion project at first, right? You have to become good and better at it to, you know, start making a living. I mean, it's the same for any kind of business, right? You don't go and become, you know, a truck driver not having a license, right? Like you have to get your, you know, some experience as license getting that as well. I wasn't just referring to NA. I feel like it's just a demographic shift as well of, you know, I feel like we talk about participation rewards, right, a lot as well of, you know, like I feel like you have to earn it. Nothing comes for free.
But also if you've got some guy going, this guy's called Squirmy, right? Yeah, maybe you don't even get a chance to earn it because it's just some random.
That's fair.
Prick.
That's what I talk about. You also have to, you know, be lucky in a certain degree. You know, what if you were the head of a TO at that point? You called him Squirmy. Yeah, maybe you wouldn't have hired him. But you know, safe to say you're not D-man. So.
Yeah, fortunately, I mean, the one thing I will say is I just say my thing. I don't take it behind the scenes. You know, I just say stupid stuff occasionally, so that's all right. And it's never going to be, I don't believe I'm in the final. I don't believe it. Never going to be that. Never going to do that. Imagine it. But yeah, man. I'm sure, like, listen, there's people going, oh, bloody hell, I don't know what's happening. It's weird, and it's like high level, and it's got suddenly adult. But this is the business. There'll be a handful of you guys that are listening right now that love esports dearly, and good for you. And you might want to work in this business, and this is all good stuff. Save this VOD. It'll make more sense when you start on your journey, even if it is a segment the fans are calling cringe, self-indulgent,
yep,
and where's machine?
Oh
no!
Connor
So out of
right
control.
What is this?
We're getting him on the line.
Why is Harry
It's
doing a
happening
prank
live.
call live on air? What's happening? It's the Jerky Boys. Beyond the
hang
Summit
on. He
edition.
declined the call.
Yeah, blame him. Did you just ring him out of the blue?
No, obviously I run it by him. I wasn't just like, well, let's ring the guy. You're right, Connor.
Hello,
You're live on air right now.
Squirmy. It's me, Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
So ridiculous, man.
We do need him to come back here and maybe.
There's a game going on.
Yeah,
do the last 4 rounds of the round. Okay,
as well, because people maybe not know, this is both these teams are out, right? This is for 100 RMR points. That's the difference between 5th and 6th place. Is Extra Salt looking to 2-0, and they might be able to. This round is huge. The money's on the line. Extra Salt are set up on A. There's 30 seconds. 3 CTs here. They're about to go. They're about to go fast. Safe in the site. He gets one, and it's kind of come to a bit of a stop here for Extra Salt. They need trades. They need them now. JT will deliver. PKL on the bomb site with a single kill, and the T's have broken through. We know what Inferno's like. You've all played it in your pugs. It might have to be a sad save.
It might be a sad save. Oh, sorry. Are you picking it up, Robin?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, look how smart Extra Salt does this as well. They don't have any more utility left once they do go through with this first initial execute. It's a crossfire setup for paiN Gaming, but because of the fact that Extra Salt is just doing a very good job, patient play, they get these jiggle peaks, which forces paiN to kind of get out of position, forces them out of the bomb site and also in pit. It gives Extra Salt these one-on-one duels and bomb plant down. It's an instant save for paiN. I mean, money situation as well for paiN is not looking great. We talk about later stages of games and Extra Salt with 14 and paiN essentially at $0. 2 saved weapons. Yeah, it's looking pretty dire.
Yep, and you can see the deep positions by the CTs. The thought to play for exits never crossed their mind. It's super important that they keep these guns and Extra Salt with some daylight. And remember, they did take the first map thanks to a fantastic performance from OC, the most slept-on player in North America, probably. And as this pause is coming in from Extra Salt, funnily enough, they're going to be talking about how they can bring... Yeah, let them stew in it, Hugo. That's exactly right.
Yeah, make sure everything's rolling right. You're set up to win this series. It's Inferno. We know these games can just be flipped off of one round, so... don't drop it. Just lock it in. Make it nice and easy for yourself. And the pressure on paiN, well, that's probably mounting right now. They realize that these 100 RMR points might just get set on fire right in front of them.
And hey, man, as teams like Team 1 learn in the end of 2020, sometimes, an extra couple of points can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
You don't want to get to the end of the RMRs and be kind of red in the face at the results of this one, slightly going against you. And you think, well, if only we tried, that tiny bit harder, if only we'd got that one place further up, we could have been attending the major.
I think these 100 points and stuff matters more to a team like paiN and even an Extra Salt because they are pretty close. We see if we get Stronny on the line here. Here another.
Yeah, he just called me. Is this Connor Gervin? Is it working?
We'll get him back in there. For now, though, it's a very solid round here for paiN. 5-on-3 situation. Was looking pretty bad. They did not have a lot of utility. 2 Farmasters as well. No AWP on safe. It's an aggressive play for Apps and banana control at that as well, leaving Extra Salt with a bunch of question marks.
Yeah, this has been, you've got to give credit to paiN for actually holding on this CT side, right? Like, they have not had back-to-back rounds since the pistol and the conversion in the CT side. So it's been a trials and tribulations when it comes to the money. That being said, paiN are still making this game interesting. They look to win this round. It should be theirs. And then the problems become Extra Salt. So paiN just got to close it here. 4-on-2. No one making the mistake.
I feel when OC's alive, though, there's always a chance.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it's a 2-on-2 on this bomb site, right? There are some nades, no mollies, though. And, I mean, it's a great setup here for paiN. I just don't see it. I say that, but they don't... okay.
What about now?
I just don't see it. Yeah, right. I just don't see it. Yep.
Yeah, that CT smoke
you win.
missed.
You win, Robin. You win.
That CT smoke was a big whiff. Huge, not gap, but like the smoke was jutting out so he can just walk through it and have cover. Not what you want. You want it in the choke.
You do. That's what they mean when they say mind the gap.
Man, we do apparently have someone that knows LD and the other head honchos here. Aruru. If these clowns cast this game like this tomorrow, we're going to have a serious conversation. Yeah, please be sure to tweet at hot_bid for any feedback.
Yeah, also tweet at my_ass. And we'll definitely get on top of that, you absolute fucking loser. I'll be right on top of it, mate.
So disrespectful, Richard. I don't think I'm
no,
ever
listen,
going to forgive
what you don't
you.
remember is I've been in there. I've been in the reads, haven't I? I've been down there, haven't I? I've been down in the doldrums in the Twitch chat. This guy's tuned in every day and is mauled in every day. And remember, this is the most serious. This is the most serious Beyond the Summit of all time. I even asked the guys, I asked Hotbin, because he keeps the machine. He measures seriousness to comedy ratios on every broadcast. And I said, is this the most serious it's ever been? And he said yes, objectively. There is no argument about that. So yeah, you do that, mate. You live in that delusional world where you can have us all fired. I look forward to maybe addressing this tomorrow in the final, mate. I'll be sure to reference, not you specifically, because that would give you a sense of self-importance, but I will reference your sentiment. I will, and you can't stop that. And nor will that stop me getting any work I want ever in esports. So keep typing what you want, though. Just know it does nothing.
I do like that, like, you know, it's like someone will tune in every single day voluntarily to something that they think they hate. And
they really love it.
And like they're typing every day, like, what is this? It's like by day 12, you think you would have figured out what it is, you know? Like
I do remember that time, Harry. I went to a restaurant, right, and it was called shit sandwiches. And I remember I went there and I went, what do you serve here? And they said, well, it's pretty self-evident. And I went, oh, no, of course you don't really. And I ordered a sandwich, full of shit it was. And I ate it, and I was thinking, no, there must be. First bite tasted bad. I was like, they're baiting me. It's a trick. I choked it down. I did, Harry. I choked it all the way down. It was so horrible and foul and sulfurous. And I was gagging on every bite, and I thought, fuck, hell, that's the worst thing I've ever added. 9 a.m. the next day, I was there. I said,
couldn't be the same twice.
I said, listen, mate, you know that sandwich you showed me the other day? It was fucking lifting. I couldn't even believe it. I don't believe it, I said. And and I said, right, I'm going to order another one. And if it's bad, we'll be having words. 14 days I repeated that cycle for.
And it never got any better, sadly.
No, but here's the joke on the joke, Hugo. We're not serving up shit. We're serving up solid gold. This is like you're panning. You're panning shit, and gold nuggets are coming out. And you don't even know. You don't even know it's gold everywhere.
Well, this round is gold for Extra Soul, baby, because they just got 15.
We are like, you know, gold, like kidney stones or something like that. You know, like no one really wants us. It's mad painful, but also it is gold. And
guarantee you've never had a kidney stone, or you'd never.
I think I do have kidney stones, but that's not a topic.
You think you have everything, Harry?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Hypochondria with Harry and Hugo. Yeah. That's a great show. That's a great one. What do you think you have today, Harry? Oh, kidney stone?
Well, then, to be fair, man, if you go on the internet and type in like any symptom ever, your computer will tell you you're dying, like just there and then.
Never do that, by the way. Whatever mild symptoms you have, do not put it into Google. Everyone knows that.
I have a cough, I'm sweating, and oh my god, I have a disease that affects 1 in 1 billion people, and it's going to kill me within the hour.
It's the Victorian skin disease scrot.
Has anyone got any leeches, please? Suck my blood out. That doesn't work, by the way. I mean, well, I'm sure they will suck your blood out.
No, they
won't do you any favors.
Leeches definitely do that, though. They do that, though, don't they? Though they do that. So.
Sorry, that's what it sounded like. You were kind of leading
I saw you going there. And here we go, boys and girls.
This is it,
this game,
guys. It's the moment of truth.
OT, perhaps? Question mark. paiN certainly thinks so. They only just got back-to-back rounds, only to be dealt 15.
Yeah, but the thing is, at the start of the round, OC is still alive. So there's always a chance they can win it. No one else matters. OC popping off. Top fragging again.
Classic. Not even really been AWPing on this T side either. Just
Doesn't
wants
need
to be
to.
executed.
Does what he wants.
Oh,
He's like Jamie Vardy or Harry Kane.
Massive frag for Fang. He's getting flanked in apps though. He's got the bomb. Safe is chasing. He's running. Does Fang know he's going to hear this? And he gets the shot. That's a mess. Where's the communication? It's all falling apart for paiN at the seams. We need a hero. It might have to be Nekkers. Lines him up, but doesn't knock a single one down. They've got
but it's nade by Big Zero. Yeah, he's got it. Nope, he's gone for a flash instead.
He's gone through the lad.
Oh,
look at him. Look at how deep he's got, and they don't know. Surely they don't know.
No
one's ready for this.
They can't know. They know.
Oh,
and then
but they will spot him.
It's over.
It's Big Sarah. It's Big Sarah 1v2. Surely not. Surely this is where it all falls apart. But Hugo is believing. There's the peak from in the sight. An extra salt. They get it done, 16-14. It's the big 2-0 over paiN Gaming. The grand final that we all wanted to see is actually the 5th-6th decider. And it's Extra Salt stealing it away.
Well, welcome back to the CS Summit 8. We're about to round out a great day of Counter-Strike. And Extra Salt, it might not be the result they wanted in the grander context of the tournament, but they have secured 5th place. There were so many amazing little moments in this from both teams, to be fair, but Extra Salt, you can see right now why they're so highly rated. And as I keep saying, I think OC, wow, he whatever happens moving forward, he was one of the best players here. I don't care what anyone says about where you finished. He played so good, Robin.
Yeah, I mean, he did for sure. And I was just looking at the points, actually. I was curious to see, you know, if these 100 points, you know, will matter. I was going to mention, I think it will matter at the end, especially for these lesser teams.
For sure.
Yeah, the non-liquids, you know, the non-furious. Actually, it looks like Extra Salt also has no points. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think OC, we talked about it all event, right? He gets a chance here at the end as well to kind of showcase his skills. Fang did have a quiet performance. I kind of cursed him. We didn't cover it, but we did see it. He had a fantastic ace in this map as well. But overall, yeah, I think in terms of results for me, kind of what I was expecting. I do have Extra Salt, you know, in terms of North America being the better team over paiN, but same thing I did here, right? I think for paiN, they have definitely impressed this event. I think even here, they managed to stay alive for a long time. We were talking about potential overtime on Inferno, and it comes in the back of, this is a very scrappy end of the half, if you think about it. paiN Gaming, they managed to string some rounds together, 1 there, 2 there, but they're always in the back burner with the economy, but they still managed to get this very close. Not something you tend to talk about on that CT side, especially on Inferno, with the economy being as bad as it is. But I think that they've really showcased themselves this event. I think that, you know, much more to be said about paiN. I look forward to having them back in Europe as well in the future as well to keep on developing, but definitely a very exciting squad.
Yeah, Harry, Hugo, you are one like the Borg. What did you make of it?
That's a great game.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we were going to get all 3, if I'm being honest. You know, I was really enjoying the conversations, but also I
enjoying the
really,
CS as well.
Yeah, I really, you know, I really love this paiN squad and the Extra Salt squad. Like, these were, as I said, I put that tweet, I was saying I thought these were going to be the 2 to reach the finals. I love watching these 2 teams play. I think in terms of like the excitement for what it means for North America, right? There is an awful lot of hype around these 2 teams, as there should be. And I think the more people that can get behind a squad like paiN, the better, right? Extra Salt, that they really are becoming like a bastion of hope for NA. I want paiN to have the same kind of feeling, right, for Brazilian Counter-Strike, because these guys, out of all the BR teams, like tactically, you know, they've looked really sound. They're not like an Oplano where occasionally, you know, you're kind of bailed out by the individuals. They've got great individuals, but very sound tactics as well. So they've been a treat to watch, man. And,
they have.
Have we got anyone to talk to here, Richard?
You're right. There is a format that we have, and that includes an interview with the winning team. And we have a member of that winning team, which was Extra Salt, and it's Marky. Thanks so much for joining us. Look, congratulations on the win, first of all.
Thank you.
But let's be serious and real, as I often am. So I'm sure you guys, even though you've won this game, you're feeling a little bit disappointed overall that it was the 5th place decider you were battling for, and maybe not even the grand final. So what's the mood like in the camp currently from your perspective?
Yeah, for sure we feel disappointed. It's just like I don't know. We started really well, beating these strong teams, and then I don't know, something like happened and then slow down. But yeah, I mean, we're not gonna be sad for forever, but it's just a big thing that we don't get to the final, and that's it. Yeah, that's what happened.
I wanted to ask about the future, Marky. You guys obviously, you know, we had some great games out of you this tournament. It's great to see you guys get some big wins, but you're going to be back to Europe, I imagine, very soon for summer, right?
Yeah.
So what are your goals there? What are your hopes? You know, how long are you boot camping? Where are you staying? Give us an update as your future.
So yeah, we're going to EU again to play the IM summer, and we're leaving tomorrow actually. So we're gonna be there for exactly 14 days, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, hopefully just try our best, do our best, and I don't know, get far hopefully.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I want to know how's it feeling for you, right? Because obviously, after Chaos kind of met, like, it's rather unfortunate. And you know me, Marky, man. You know I couldn't resist talking about Chaos. It's obviously, like, for you, it must kind of feel like in a way you came out of this all right. You get to keep doing CS. You get to be in this extra salt team. You're building yourselves up to be, like, you know, one of the household names of NA. What's it been like for you since Chaos fell through?
Well, about the Chaos thing, that was honestly unlucky. I mean, we wanted to keep playing together, but it just could not happen. Like, other people wanted to follow another path, go another game, you know? And so whatever, that happened. And I obviously wanted to keep playing CS just because I don't enjoy the other game that much. So I was looking for another home, and then these guys reached out to me, and I was happy about it because I think these guys had the most potential out of any other team on NA right now. So I'm happy I got here.
Yeah, no, man, I completely agree with that. I absolutely love this, Marky. I love that you're in this team and looking so good while you're doing it. I also want to know, just, you know, while we've got you here, what do you make of guys like OC and Fang, right? Like the South Africans, I think, you know, we kind of more familiar with these guys. Fang, for a lot of people, was like one of the newer faces. Obviously, gets the MVP in Europe. Really sick, like young talent. What do you make of him as like one of the more veteran players?
How I can't understand that question. How?
Oh, no worries, man. Like, what? Yeah, you know, like what was it about a guy like Fang that made him such like an attractive pickup to have in the team?
I'm not sure. He was already on the team, so I don't have a say. I don't choose him, so I don't. He was already here, but
no.
And I never played with him before, only other than FPL. But from after I know him, after I met him and everything, he's been like great. He's been great. He's been awesome. Like, he's a good guy, good teammate. He's always like, how do I say this? He's wanting to learn more every time. He's always trying to do more and bringing stuff, all the stuff. Yeah.
It's okay to say shit. Don't worry. We've said way worse.
Yeah, even Valorant we're allowed to say, but, you know, not Voldemort.
So I thought no one heard me.
It's okay. No need to apologize for that. Look, so last question, and I'll let you go and you know, celebrate or whatever you guys have planned for tonight. Yeah, bags. By the sounds and things. Or rest. You can do whatever you want. The world is indeed your oyster, Marky. But when are we going to see Extra Salt, you know, out there next? What's the long-term plans for the organization? How can fans support you?
I guess just follow us on social media. We're gonna try our best and do our best and keep practicing hard. And I don't know, yeah, that's it. Like, what else?
Well, yeah. Listen, it's been a joy to watch you at this RMR. I think you guys did deserve better. I'm sure you'll bounce back strong, and I'm looking forward to when you do. So thanks a lot. Enjoy your success. We'll probably talk again.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Take care. So there you have it, Marquis. A guy who's been around NA a long time, no doubt about it. And Extra Salt, you can tell it's a little bit flat, but it's not a disaster. You're going to see those guys again. Remember the name, as they say.
Yeah, no, 100%, Richard, man. Like, these guys are great. I love everything about them. I like that we got to talk to Marky as well. I've got to speak to him the least out of anyone on that team, probably.
Yeah.
So great to have him on. Great to have his insight. And sick to know they're leaving for EU tomorrow, for crying out loud.
Yep, see ya. See ya. Cheers. Yeah, cheers for the game. See ya. We're off. But anyway, look, you can see on your screen now, that is what is confirmed. It is the grand final. Probably a lot of people felt this is the one we would see. We weren't convinced by that. But man, these teams grew into it. Now we get a best of 5. And remember, yes, it is a best of 5. There's no map advantage for Team Liquid. They get veto advantage. Team Liquid versus Furia. It's going to be so close, and I know you guys want to see that. That's going to be for all of the marbles. Well, not all. You get some marbles, but the majority of the marbles, rather. So it's going to be awesome, and I think we will see all 5 maps. Now, just before we do our final thoughts, I'm going to do the giveaway first, guys. So,
okay.
Because listen, time's a wasting. It's ticking away. Right, and BTS are doing a giveaway, and they're giving away all this cool stuff. And look at that, right? Look at that camo snapback down there. They call them snapbacks. They were just caps in my day, but whatever, right? Camo, the top half of your head will blend in with anything as long as it's those colours. That's how camouflage works. But that'd be wicked, wouldn't it? Or you could have a hoodie and it's got an exploding chicken on it. That's amazing. And also, our sponsors, Vibet, they're giving away a StatTrak AK-47 skin. All of that's amazing. Follow that link on your screen to have a chance to win it. And yes, 1 minute before midnight, May 30th, Pacific time. If you don't get in before then, 1 minute after, a second after even, you just don't have a chance.
So guys, say this every day now, Richard, but it's the last day almost, right?
I know.
Like
this is what I'm really trying to impress the importance of it, Robin. I think some people probably watching now are going, oh, I'm going to leave it to the last minute. Don't risk it. What if something goes wrong? What if you get a phone call? Imagine.
Yeah. Or like the internet goes down as you hit the button to register.
The
internet goes out and you're just freaking out. Like, man.
One of those weird lag spikes you get on Wi-Fi sometimes. Oh, no. I was just trying to edge myself. And now this. Nightmare. So, listen.
Get us out of here.
No. Last thought of the day. It's been great. We've had a wonderful time. We've seen the highs, the lows, what the RMR is all about, and we're getting ready for the final. So quick thoughts from all of us. Robin, I'll start with you and work my way in.
Yeah, I think obviously we having a bit of fun for the last series here between Extra Salt and paiN, but the first series, Furia and Extremum, obviously a very important one. Kind of went the way that we expected. Unfortunate for Extremum, they are out of the tournament, 3rd place, but we do get that repeat tomorrow that we talked about, and that was a fantastic series that we saw yesterday between Liquid and Furia. So I'm super hyped for the final. Congratulations to Extra Salt, obviously, for the 5th place. Very impressed by paiN overall. I think they should be happy about this performance as well. As I looked at when you asked, I do think that paiN came into this tournament with 0 points. So, like, they're definitely on the board here now. So, like, these 100 points, we're going to have more RMR events heading into the major. They're in it, right? They can definitely make their way over to Stockholm here. And that storyline is going to be incredible for RMR number 2.
Yep. Yeah. And Hugo, you're wearing a heraldic peasant outfit. What do you think?
Harry bought this in extra large, and so it fit me. I'm a medium, but it fits quite well. Thank you, Harry.
Yeah. Psychic, I am. All right.
Yeah, I accidentally bought it from like somewhere where the sizes, that's actually a 3XL.
Really?
That Hugo's wearing right there.
Fit. No,
that's a 3XL allegedly, and it fits on his
little
along. Medium.
Hugo, your last thoughts.
My final thoughts. I got to say, I've been super impressed. Stop talking about my wardrobe. I've been super impressed with Brazil this event, right? Whether that be Oplano coming in and shocking people, paiN being better than many of the other teams that have bigger fan bases. I think we wanted more from Godsend. I actually was super impressed at the games we had out of them, even though they went out a couple of phases ago. And of course, you can't not mention Furia, who are in that grand final, who we'll see tomorrow. Yeah, Brazil's been really good this RMR, and I imagine we'll see a few more of them in the future on the way up to the Stockholm Major.
Great time for Brazilian CS. Harry, your final thought?
Mine's short, mine's sweet. It's not going to get better than that Liquid versus Furia best of 5 tomorrow. This is a final that delivered throughout all of 2020, right? This has been incredible. It always gives a great game, and it is for, as Richard put it so eloquently, for the majority of the marbles. So you absolutely don't want to miss that grand final. Tune in for that tomorrow.
You don't. And with that said, I'm going to let you go and sleep and rest on the proviso. You can only sleep and rest that you do come back tomorrow. Please do. It's the big one. Team Liquid, Furia, best of 5. Like, what more do you want from a game of Counter-Strike? Like, trust me.
Maybe the casters talking about Counter-Strike, but we might promise that too.
No, but
yeah,
tomorrow is more serious.
I also promise we will talk about some of the Counter-Strike that occurs. So do tune in. 2:30. We'll see you then. Until then, do whatever it is you do in your spare time. None of my business. Bye.